You see the screen now, Ahmed. As you see, this is a real exam, and this is a type or a summary to what you will face in your exam. Just read from here. Question number 1 will speak about familiar topic, as you see now. This will be scored on ability to speak clearly and coherently. You know what the meaning of coherence?
Yeah, in just in a theme.
The well-structured sentence. The well or the perfect.
In a theme, yeah.
Yes, on the top. Question number 2 and 3 will provide it with a passage, okay? The text will go away. The text will go away. You can't see the text again, just one time, okay? You first read a short text. They will go away, and you will then listen to a talk on the same topic. You will be then asked a question about what you have read or heard. You will need to combine appropriate information. This is very important point from the text and to provide a complete answer to the question. Your response will be scored on the ability to speak clearly and coherently. All the elements that the tester will focus on, they are speaking clearly. He doesn't mention your accent, just to speak clearly. And the coherent on your ability to accurately convey information. Cover all the ideas about you have read and heard. Okay, this is very important, especially for question number 2 and 3. Number 4, in question 4, you will listen to a part of a lecture, as we say before, as the last answer previous Zoom meeting. You will then be asked a question about what you have heard. Your response will be.
I think it's relatively easier than the other ones.
Yes, the fourth one is easy like the first one. Ability to speak clearly and coherently, and on your ability to accurately convey information about what you heard. Okay, you may take notes. This is very important. Take notes while you read and while you listen. Read and listen to the conversation and the lecture. You made your notes to help you prepare your answer. And also here, listen carefully to the directions. It's maybe sometimes he asks you to prepare your answer between 15 to 30 seconds, depending on the question, okay? And also he says the clock will show the presentation, remaining time, preparation. Okay, let's go on. Let's play this video to see what is the first question to try to answer it, okay?
5 seconds to speak.
Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Teachers should not be too friendly to their students. Use details and
Ahmed, I will not stop the watch. I will make the video go on without stops, okay?
Okay.
Let's try to do your best.
Okay.
examples to explain your answer.
Please prepare your answer after the beep. Please begin speaking after the beep.
Hey, Ahmed, start.
Okay. Okay. Oh, start right now. Okay. First of all, okay. First of all, I completely disagree with this statement because the students will be forbidden to them to be like to love the subject that these teachers give to them, because if the teachers were not friendly with their students, they won't love the subject and they won't love the teacher, and they will get bad grades as the consequences follows, and and I think that's it.
Okay, no problem, Ahmed. Okay, let's see the perfect answer from a very quickly student.
I strongly disagree with this statement that teachers should not be too friendly with their students, and I have a couple of reasons to support my idea. First of all, I think that when teachers are friendly with their students can learn the lesson much better because there is a good rapport and relationship between them, and this relationship will help them in learning the lessons much better and much more effectively. The second reason is that
can you pause it? I really can't hear anything from her accent because she's like, you know. This is so noisy.
I mean that I intended this. I wish this because
she was so fast. Really, I think.
Yes, I'd really like to show you a kind of student that are speaking so very quickly, and it is not very good because her voice was not very clear. So the tester will not give her a good grade. Okay. Because he told us that you have to clearly speaking, okay? Your voice should be clear, sentence well organized, covering the ideas. All of these are the best way to answer.
Providing clear ideas in the first place.
Okay, you started a very good for answering this question. Let's move back to the question. But Ahmed, you didn't start in the right time, okay? So I will play
there was a lag in my laptop.
Maybe
it was lagging.
Okay, are you ready for the second question? Task number 2.
Okay.
Let's move on.
In this question, you will read a short passage about a campus situation and then listen to a talk on the same topic. You will then answer a question using information from both the reading passage and the talk. After the question, you will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and 60 seconds to speak.
Read an article in the campus newspaper. You will have 50 seconds to read the article. Begin reading now. Now, listen to two students discussing the article.
Hey, this is great. Did you see this article?
Oh yeah, I saw that. But do you think we really need it?
Well, yeah, I think it'll be really helpful because there's actually a lot of different classes you need for some of the degree programs, and it can be hard to stay organized.
I guess that's true. I'm studying business, and there are a lot of math and economics courses I have to take.
Right, and sometimes students miss a certain course. Like my friend had to stay on campus over the summer break after his final year to take a class to complete his history degree. He had to graduate a few months later.
Oh, wow. His graduation was delayed?
Yeah, because he didn't realize it was something he needed to take until it was too late.
Wow. Well, hopefully this will help people avoid that kind of mistake, since they can just see it online. I guess that's good for the advisors, too.
Yeah, definitely, since they're so busy. I mean, all the academic advisors are professors, so they have a lot of other work to do.
That's true. They don't have a lot of extra time.
Right. And this way, they could have more time to talk to students about more serious issues, where students might really need advice, like if students have questions about switching majors or doing an internship.
The man expresses his opinion about the plan described in the article. Briefly summarize the plan, then state his opinion about the plan, and explain the reasons he gives for holding that opinion.
Please prepare your answer after the beep.
Are you there, Ahmed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please begin speaking after the beep.
So first of all, the main idea, which is that advisors will help students in making their own schedules, because some of the students are struggling with completing their classes. And the person in the lecture stated that one of his friends last year, his graduation date, and just because he just didn't he realized late about that he should complete some courses that he didn't realize that he should complete, and it was a little bit hard for that student.
Okay, Ahmed, you covered half of the all IDs, okay? Because you missed a very important point. It was the website.
I think
he mentioned here in the lecture that the website.
No, he didn't mention the website
in the passage.
Well, he did mention the website in the paragraph.
Here, this is.
I just wanted to
Degree Navigator website.
Highlight what he.
Yes. This is the most important point to start.
Okay, with. I just wanted to.
Yes, you give the example and stated what the speaker say.
You have read the questions, right?
Yeah.
Go on. I just wanted to cover the ideas and just don't get to like a minor idea, which is the websites, because it doesn't make any
discussion
any additional
of what you did, Ahmed. I think that you give points too much phrases and sentences. You go on wider and wider to illustrate too many details. Okay, so it is not good to give him some very details on a same subject to cover all the ideas during the suitable or available time. Okay, you have to take care of this in question 2 and 3, because question 2 and 3 will ask you about some very details from the passage and also the lecture. So now give the general points of every the passage and also state what he speak or stated in the lecture. Don't go through in the very small details. Okay, it's not they will be sufficient for your time. Okay, and I'd like you to cover all the ideas at the same time. Okay, so don't give more details on this part, just headlines, because there is not enough time to illustrate all these details. Okay, Ahmed, you got what I mean?
Okay.
You just talk about the general statement into the passage, and it was about organizing the time of the classes or the courses that the students will take, and the campus or the university organized a navigator website.
And the example of one of his friends.
Yes, and directly go to the lecture, and you can say according to the lecture, the student stated blah 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 blah, that this will he completely agree with the idea of making such a website, because all the professors will be very busy doing anything else, and also this website will give them the great opportunity to organize what they have to do or what they have to drop off classes. Okay, so as an example, he gives an example about one of the students that he didn't know what he will finish his course and what he will choose, whether it was good or not, and this makes or resulted in a delayed graduation, so he graduated on other time. Okay, so this is the main point is in the lecture and also the general statement in the passage. Okay, in whole you have to mention the general statements only in this 2 and 3 question exactly. Okay, Ahmed, because you know it's the time is not enough to illustrate every detail in this point. Okay, no problem. Let's it's okay, Ahmed, but let's see the model answer for this question. I think number 2, yes, but maybe the same speaker.
I get to help students
I'm not ready for that.
for graduation. The point of the
Try to
conversation
listen.
totally
Try to listen.
agree with this idea, and he thinks that it is really helpful because there is a lot of different classes that students need to take for some programs, and staying organized is really difficult. Sometimes students miss a certain course, like his friend who had to stay on campus on summer break because on his final years to take classes for his history degree. He had to graduate a few months later because he didn't know that he had to take a course that was a requirement. Through this proposal, he can avoid that kind of mistake because it is online. And the second benefit is that it's really good for advisors because they're really busy. All advisors are professors and they have a lot of duties and they do not have extra time. This proposal can help them have more time to talk to the students about different and serious issues like switching majors or doing an internship. So this is to refresh the boy in the conversation.
Ahmed, are you there?
That was really disgusting.
Yes, very, very quicker
Mhm.
speaker. You got some points of what she said? Yes.
What did you say?
You got anything from what she said?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
I mean nothing. Yeah. Nothing
Okay.
because
Okay, let's move to question number 3 because we have today a very bad speaker. Okay.
the store one was better.
Yes.
Mhm.
Let's move on to question number 3.
In this question, you will read a short passage on an academic subject and then listen to a talk on the same topic. You will then answer a question using information from both the reading passage and the talk. After the question, you will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and 60 seconds to speak.
Read a passage from a biology textbook. You will have 45 seconds to read the passage. Begin reading now.
I think المرة الجاية عندك
Take notes, Ahmed.
Now, listen to part of a lecture in a biology class.
Okay, so let's look at an example of this with insects. Take caterpillars, for example. Some caterpillars have this ability. Now, say there's a caterpillar crawling along on a branch in a tree, just minding its own business. And then some dangerous insect, like a wasp, flies toward the tree. The caterpillar could be in trouble. The wasp might try to eat the caterpillar. It's a threat. Now, a lot of other animals may not hear the wasp or know that it's close by. But fortunately for the caterpillar, there are these really tiny hairs on the caterpillar's skin, little hairs that stick out into the air around the caterpillar. And when the wasp flies toward the tree, the beating of its wings makes a sound, which sends out vibrations, or small movements in the air, which make the caterpillar's tiny hairs move, so it senses the presence of the wasp. So once the caterpillar realizes something is flying toward it, and it might be a wasp, the caterpillar will just drop off the branch it's been crawling on and fall to a lower branch or to the ground. And this way, the wasp is likely to just fly right by without ever catching the caterpillar, and the caterpillar will be safe.
Explain how the example from the professor's lecture illustrates the concept of near-field sound detection.
Please prepare your answer after the beep.
Look at the watch, Ahmed, and prepare your answer.
Okay.
Please begin speaking after the beep.
Start.
Okay, first of all, it was stated in the passage that some of the animals just detect the sound or use the sound to avoid predators, and by the vibrations that are in the air, they absorb these vibrations, and that has an impact on them. And the example was on the caliper, as the lecturer stated, and it has just a little tiny hair that stick in the air. And when a wasp comes to eat it, of its movement, just vibrates its hair, and immediately the caliper just drop off the tree once it hear the sound to be safe from.
Okay, Ahmed, very good, but you have didn't follow my instruction. For example number 2, I said you give just a general statement, Ahmed, because the time is not. As I mean, it's not too much to cover all these ideas. You go through details, you are insisting on giving too much details. If I were you, I would speak like this. First of all,
just for illustration, just
yes,
to give the
but too much. But please don't make them too much, Ahmed, because you don't have too much time to explain all these ideas and all these details. Okay. So if I were you, I would like to say, in general, according to the passage, the professor stated that there is a sound like, he stated that some animals use the voice to avoid predators, okay? And these predators can detect some animals and he gives 2 examples about the caterpillar, and also when he explaining that some animals can avoid be a prey for some predators by using vibrations to detect them that there is a dangerous coming toward them, okay? And he stated also into the lecture that when a wasp comes to predate or come to trap one of his predators, the caterpillar can go to a lower branch to avoid being eaten, okay, by this wasp. And this is the strategy that the techniques that some animals can use to avoid being eaten. This is the general and the statements in general, and the brief to be concise, direct, and not detailed in this question. Don't give too much details in question number 2 and the question number 3, because the available time is not enough for this. Okay, Ahmed? This is just only my advice in question 2 and 3. Let's move on to number 4. Question number 4 to finish this. Okay, yes, here.
To prepare your response and 60 seconds to speak.
Listen to part of a lecture in a business class.
Large companies are organized in different ways. In some large companies that have more than one branch or location, responsibility and authority are spread throughout the entire company. So instead of managers at the central headquarters making all the decisions, managers at local branches can make decisions about how to run their branches. This is known as decentralization. Decentralization can sometimes be effective for companies with multiple locations, but it also has some possible disadvantages. One disadvantage of decentralization is that decisions made by local managers can sometimes harm the overall company. When local managers make decisions, they only consider what's best for their particular location. They don't have to think about what's good for the company in general. So, a good decision for a local branch can sometimes be a bad decision for the company as a whole. For example, take a major clothing company with multiple stores. Say there's one store that's not doing well. The manager may decide to spend a lot of the company's money on advertising to attract more customers to the store, But if the central office were in control, it would probably choose to close the struggling store to save money and invest in its more successful branches. Another disadvantage of decentralization is that company policies might be carried out differently in different locations. If local managers are allowed to make decisions about policies, then policies may vary from location to location. And if the policies aren't what customers are expecting, they may be unhappy. So, back to the clothing company. Say customers want to return clothing and get their money back because it didn't fit right or something. And most stores allow customers to do this. But one store decides not to accept returns. Customers at that store may get upset if they can't return clothes and get their money back.
Using points and examples from the lecture, explain how decentralization can have disadvantages for a company.
Please prepare your answer after the beep.
Get ready, Ahmed.
Please begin speaking after the beep.
We can state that large companies which have more branches, more than one branch has the process which is known as decentralization, which is that the management head courses aren't the only people who manage these companies, but also the local managers. And the first disadvantage of that, the local managers sometimes harm the overall company by considering what's the best for their location, and bad decisions. And these lead to bad decisions for the whole company. And the second one is that when one of these branches, like for an example, one of these.
Okay, go on.
Okay, just let's say that a company has more than one branch. All of them give the permission for.
Ahmed, here the second point is about the policy of the general department of the administration in the local company affects badly, sometimes affects badly on the branches.
Something else. It was that as it was stated, one of the stores or one of the branches just didn't permit to give the money back to the customers, unlike the other branches. So the customers may get more upset, and that will be a huge disadvantage for this
yes, process. And this is what I summarized that. And yes, your idea now that you explained is what stated before and summarized as I said, when the policy of the local management of the company may affect us badly on other branches. One branch says we cannot repay money for a customer. So this is a general statement that I mentioned, and can summarize what you give the details. So you miss to put your answer in the right time. Okay? So please, Ahmed, speaking, just to talk about the general ideas, because as you see now, we discovered today something very important and essential. It is a suitable time to put your ideas. So do not make too much or further information about
the first thing that popped in my head, it was the example, not the main idea, because so that I couldn't memorize the main idea, so I give the example.
Okay, the example is okay, Ahmed,
so that I can conclude. So that I can conclude the main idea.
In brief, but in brief. Okay, don't make too much or further information. Thus, you can say he stated that the policy of the branch may affect us badly on other branches. Okay, like when somebody would like to repay his money or wants his money back, and the branch doesn't give him the money, that may be affects badly on the company on whole. Okay, don't go through too many examples or further more information about this, because you will stuff, okay, your period without giving the general idea or completing or covering the ideas into the passage, okay, or the question. Okay, now this is two exercise for the whole real exam. We have 4 questions in the first Zoom, and now we have 4 questions for the second Zoom. It's okay, Ahmed. In general, you are doing better, and your performance is getting better and better. And I really appreciate this, because practice makes perfect, as you know. Okay.